Yeah, that is so important for people to hear,
Yeah.
because I know that millions of people have been foreclosed upon, millions of people are in distress, millions of people have lost their IRAs and other pension plans, and they're looking for hope.
Yeah.
And I'm around them all the time, and you are too. And
Every day.
I mean, it's up to you and I, because we've done well in our life, to make sure that we help other people get to where they're going, and not just get there, but get there quicker.
Yeah.
And having a roadmap, having the blueprint is important. And I think the other element of it that will really become critically important is the government and what they do to help support the everyday investor, the everyday person who wants to get in this business. So you've told me a little. I'd like you to share a little about
Sure.
what the government is doing with the matching, as I call it, and I probably got the terminology wrong, but the matching program.
Well, the government, and whether we think of the government as Democrats or Republicans, forget that. The government is this institution, and they change hats from time to time, and sometimes there's a big R on it, sometimes there's a big D on it,
Right.
but it's just a bunch of people that run this business called the government, and their job is to make sure all of us are taken care of. That's their real job. Now, sometimes we don't agree with the way they're doing it, sometimes we don't even like the people who are doing it, but their job is to take care of us. And right now, they know their job is that there are tens of millions of people that are in a bad place.
Right.
They've been foreclosed, they've lost their job, they're unemployed, things are terrible. So the government's job, no matter what their letter on their hat, they've got to do something to fix that. And so what they've done is they said, okay, well, how do I, the government, take something that I know is already happening and offer something that could be really, really beneficial? So they looked out and they see all these bank failures, they see all these institutions going down, they see all the bad loans that are being created because people don't have jobs. That's why there's a lot of bad loans. And they said, how could we get rid of those bad loans? How could we get those bad loans out of the system? Because as soon as we get the bad loans out of the system, then those banks become healthy. If the banks become healthy, the banks lend money. If the banks lend money, businesses grow. Businesses grow, people get jobs. People get jobs, they can pay their mortgages. So the government has figured this all out. Said, okay, then the problem is we got this bad loan thing. All these bad loans are right here clogging up the system, and banks can't grow and get healthy until we pull this chunk of bad loans out. Okay, let's pull it out, and what do we do with it? Well, we can't just leave it sit there. We got to have somebody go collect these bad loans, because they do have some value, maybe not 100 cents on the dollar anymore, but if you could sell them for a nickel and collect them for 15 cents, wouldn't that be a good thing? And the answer is, of course, it'd be a great thing. That's exactly what my wife and I did the last time around. So the government said, well, how do I get people to buy these bad loans? Because buying bad loans sounds kind of like an oxymoron of, why would you spend good money to buy a bad loan? That sounds like, why did you just throw money up in the air and waste it? Because people say, well, I don't want to buy a bad loan. I mean, I have to call somebody up and try to collect them, and the answer is, no, you don't. So the government said, well, let's see if we can figure out a way to get more people excited about it. So the government came up with a program, and only the government could do this, because, you know, small business guys would say, this doesn't make any sense unless there's another motive. And the other motive is they want to get the economy going again. They want to get banks to rise again. So they created a program, and it's called a PPIP. It's a public-private investment program. And Dave, what it does is, if you put $1 out there and say, you're an investor and you want to invest whatever this represents, this dollar, $1,000 or $5,000 or $500 or whatever the number is, let's call it a dollar, and you want to go out and buy bad loans, your investment would be so small that it probably couldn't make an impact on this big chunk of bad loans. So the government said, well, Dave, now that you decided you want to buy some bad loans, I want to induce you to buy a lot of bad loans. So if you put $1 in the pot, how about if I get the Treasury to put $1 in the pot right alongside of your dollar, and the U.S. Treasury becomes your partner? Now you have $2 to invest. And you go, gee, I could buy twice as many of those bad loans. That'd be twice as much help as it used to be. Well, then the government went even further, said, what if we at the FDIC, the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, what if we matched those $2 by 6 times whatever you want to put in the pot? Remember, whatever you put in the pot is any number you want to put in the pot, and the Treasury's going to match it. But let's just say it's $1 again. So you got $1, the Treasury's got $1. Now the FDIC comes in and says, we'll give you 6 times that amount as a loan, which would be 6 times 2 is 12, so you got $12 worth of loan, $1 from the Treasury, $1 from you, you got $14 on the table, and only one of them is yours. And now you can buy 14 times more loans than you could have a few moments ago. And now you say, well, why would the government do that? Because if you have 14 times whatever you otherwise would have invested, they can get rid of this problem 14 times faster than they otherwise would have gotten rid of it. And now let's go back to those R's and D's on their hat. They do matter. There is an election coming up next November.
Right.
And everybody above room temperature IQ has figured this out. That if the economy is going to be bad by next November, there's going to be a whole bunch of D's that turn into R's. And so all the people that are in Congress right now, most of them have these D's on their head. They want their job. They want to keep their job. And so the way they hope to be able to keep their job is to make this problem go away between here and next year. So this is something that if you're interested in doing, time is of the essence. This is not something you can say, oh, well, I'll wait in 5 years from now and then I'll do it. 5 years from now, the party's going to be over. So that if you're interested, we need to get in there, get to whatever government help we can be eligible for. Now, it's a government, so when I say they've agreed to do this and they're going to do that, you know, they're capable of changing their mind in a heartbeat. But this is the program the FDIC and the Treasury and the Fed has now put out there, and they've actually done their first 2 pilot deals already. Now, they were big deals as compared to small deals, but that's how they're testing the model. So we know they're really doing it. Now the challenge is, how fast can we get in there and get some of this before they change their mind?